Hi everyone, very good evening guys. I hope I'm audible and visible to all of you, and welcome to this session where we'll have a quick run through of the new notes that are soon going to be launched for the upcoming rapid revision version 11 on PrepLadder. So many of you had asked for certain screenshots or just a quick peek into what these notes are going to look like. Of course, you are aware of many of the features which we have told you over the past few days, but I'll show you a few features out here which will give you more confidence into these new set of notes which are going to be released very soon. So I guess by now you know the buzz around Rapid Revision version 11, all set to launch on April 12th. And that is when the video lectures go live for all the 19 subjects. I have told you repeatedly that these are new new lectures which have been recorded for all the 19 subjects. The background has changed, PYQ tagging has been done, PYQs have been discussed at the end of every chapter. So I'm sure you are aware of those features already. But now this is all about the notes, which are going to be well aligned with all these video lectures that we have recorded. That's the tentative duration that we have of all of the lectures that we have recorded for all of you. And the previous notes were a Q&A format, which didn't go well with many of you. So we've decided to bring back our structured, well aligned notes in this particular version. So the first snippet that we have over here just gives you a quick review of how this is going to be bulletized. And I'll just zoom in and show you a few screenshots. You can see that they are bulletized. At the same time, you have ample space next to every point in case you want to add on, because we always have extra points that we get from our GT, subject-wise tests and so on. So those extra things can be added very neatly without making your notes a big clutter. So I think this is just one screenshot. The diagrams, especially for subjects like anatomy, orthopedics, microbiology, which are image heavy, which get you a lot of spotters, a lot of image based questions, those have been properly labeled exactly similar to how the faculty labels them during the lectures. So this is just one screenshot showing you that how these are going to be bulletized and image based learning. Let's look at some other features. I believe for any exam, visual memory is the key. That's why we say you should stick to the same set of notes. You should not be changing your notes or sources repeatedly, because it is flowcharts and bullets like these which remain in your memory. I mean, that is how it used to be with me. When I was giving any exam, sometimes I would only remember that, okay, this is what was written on the top right corner. I had made a box over there, or I had made a flowchart or a small image or a small mnemonic, and those are the things that come back to your mind when you're appearing for the exam, sitting in front of the computer screen. So these are some flowcharts that we have over here. Most of things I've got either from Micropath, Derma, to give you a brief about how these flowcharts have been made. So this is, for example, about cutaneous TB, a complex, classification, then further bullets that you need to know. So all of those flowcharts are there. And then, of course, we also have something called important information boxes, which I will be showing you more, but this is just one of the many flowcharts that this notes have. Then we have certain very important topics, which I think is a very good derma micro correlation, that is genital ulcers. And that is a sure shot question. Even if you do it in gynae, you will be getting one question on genital ulcers, especially students who are now going for upcoming INI-CET exam. You need to study this. What better way than to tabulate it, do a difference-wise format, and that will stay in your mind rather than reading big paragraphs about it. So these comparison tables have also been mentioned. Wherever necessary, the images have also been given in the table itself, so that you don't have to flip pages again and again for the images. So tables and images are taken care of. The next, of course, is last minute revision. Many of you keep running after a 20th notebook. Either you're asking platforms to make it for you, which I think is a total waste effort, because a 20th notebook is a very customized thing. For you, there will be a different set of volatile topics. For me, it will be very different. So making your own 20th notebook is the point over here, but then making it also consumes a lot of your time, which means that I have to make a 20th notebook from the notebooks that I already have. What better way than having last minute revision points that will in a way be all the important highlighted PYQ or PYTs that I need to put up in one place, which I want to revise. And whenever, for every subject, these are there in your rapid revision notes, and wherever they are there, you will have some extra space as well, which tells me that if you want to add something which you keep on forgetting, for example, in dermatology, you tend to forget the split at, for bullous disorders, you tend to forget where is subepidermal, where is intraepidermal, or let's assume that you keep forgetting the features of lichen planus or psoriasis, or in pathology you are worrisome about the CD markers. So that's something which is very personal to you and you tend to forget. Your friend might be very good in that topic. So if those are your weak topics, then you add it on the last minute revision page over there. So half of the work we've done and the remaining half, which is very personal to you, has to be added over there. Moving on further, as I said, there are important information boxes. This is a screenshot from the pathology notes. This is the vasculitis chapter. So you can see, like, let's assume since we've come here, let's study something. This is Wegener's granulomatosis. In one table, all of it has been done. And this time, you will also notice that I've added a lot of, pharma treatments alongside, and there is the different strawberry gums or whatever image is required wherever, it is put up in the same table, because earlier most of the images were at the end of that particular chapter, which made it very difficult for students to flip to and fro, and that was wasting a lot of time. Now most of the images are where exactly the topic is. So this is one thing that is settled, and we have these important information boxes which will help you, like at least for pathology, micro, I can say, since I've recorded it, so I can tell you that they will also be integrated with other subjects, which will make it very easy for you to keep revising many subjects alongside. Let's move on further. PYQ tagging, which I think is the newest feature that we have, and this is again done in two parts. The first is that while you are reading, you will have the year and the name of the exam that is mentioned alongside, which makes it very easy for you to, all of a sudden, when I see that this topic has been asked in these 5 different exams, I will now automatically, my brain will get that alert signal that I have to pay more attention to this, and then I will read it also accordingly. That is how the human brain works, right? But this is just phase 1 of PYQ tagging. There will be some previous year questions which will have twists and turns, and maybe I know that students are going to have a doubt about it when they solve it on their own. So now even at the end of every chapter, we have previous year questions that have been discussed. So let me show you some of those which will come up, like for example this. PYQs at the end of the topic are going to be there. I can see this is another screenshot from the notes, so, and all the answers are given there and then. So again, this is something which does half of your work while you are doing the rapid revision videos. So your theory is done. Like rapid revision, I always say, is 85% of the work done when it comes to theory. We are not putting tall claims over here that rapid revision will cover 100% of your theory and all of that, because that is not exactly what it's meant to be. It's not going to cover. It is a shortcut. It is a shorter, concise course. So let's assume it covers 85% or 80% of your syllabus. After that, the remaining 5 to 10% that is there is going to be covered through these PYQs, and thereafter whatever is left is going to be your new questions which you will be solving from the Q bank. So if you've done your theory over here, you've done your PYQs over here, then more than half of your work is done. Now the remaining is to do custom modules, to solve more questions and get going with it. Now coming on over here, some subjects which are mnemonic heavy also. Some of you are fans of mnemonics, some of you do not like it, but you like it or you dislike it is another topic for another day. The point is, there is a lot of cramming up that 19 subjects require, apart from concepts also. You might have concepts, which is great, but you also have certain 20-30% which is pure cramming up, which does not have any logic or sense to it, and you will have to learn it, unfortunately. So that is where mnemonics and stories will come to your rescue. And all those mnemonics, of all the mnemonics, PrepLadder gave me a screenshot of the funniest one, but okay, let's assume you're talking about atherosclerosis. You want to know about the different arteries and vessels that are involved in it. So those mnemonics have also been highlighted and have been put up over here, right? Now coming to your main question as to, is this for all exams? Of course, rapid revision has always been for all the exams, NEET PG, FMGE, INI-CET. If you are an elite plan user, you will be getting these notes, and they will start their dispatch tentatively by the last week of April. So these are the questions which I thought you would be having, so I've already answered them. But now, having given you a brief of these notes, and this is just the written text notes which are already well aligned with your lectures. We of course have flashcards, which I'm sure you've seen over so many social media handles. I think they've shared a lot of screenshots and videos of how you'll also be getting a bundle of physical flashcards. Apart from the flashcards which you keep seeing on the app, there will be physical flashcards, which I think is very, very essential for students, especially who are interns, because you can't most of the times carry bulky textbooks that you are to your your duties, nor can you all the time be looking at your phone and listening to a video lecture. Most of the internship duties, that also is not possible. But you can carry, let's assume, 10 flashcards in your lab coat or in your pocket while you go for your duty. Whenever you get time in between, maybe during coffee break, tea break, or whatever, you can quickly go through a flashcard in a minute or two. At least you're doing something, and as they say, something is better than nothing. So these are just on the go things which we've added, which might help you in your preparation. Any other questions that you have, please let me know. Yes, I think Dr. Vaibhav, I've answered that. You will be getting the flashcards, the physical flashcards. In fact, today PrepLadder has added snippets of those flashcards on Instagram, also on YouTube. So if you still, want to look at those physically, how they look like, what is the size, etc. going to be, what is the handwriting, all of that has also been added. Okay, moving on. What about LRR? Wo to hoga. I mean, like it is always there, it will occur, so don't worry about that. RR of other subjects, no. Path and micro, I think already there is a lot that is on my plate. So right now I am not doing any other subject. Path and micro is what I think I've tortured you enough with these two subjects. I shall not proceed with the torture further. All said and done. Yes, any other questions that you have? And today I will also tell the team to upload more screenshots, so that it's always better that you get full confidence before you dive into something. But having said that, students who have already prepared from version X and who are appearing, let's assume, for the May INI-CET or the June-July FMGE or the upcoming August NEET PG, should you be altogether switching to the new notes? That would not be advisable, because again and again I'm saying visual memory is the key. Then how should you guys be using these new notes or the new video lectures? Just do whatever is added, and that every faculty will obviously tell you what they've added in every, like for example, if I have added a topic in a particular chapter, I will be letting you know. Maybe a topic altogether is not added, but I wanted to add one extra line. Maybe there is an update about sickle cell anemia, which is just one sentence added. Maybe I want to talk about one drug, integrating it with pharmacology. So all these bullets that have been added, I will be sharing with you. All that you can do is spend 30 minutes and do those added points. And if you want to use the video lectures, then you can only go to the last part of every chapter and quickly go through the PYQs that the teachers have discussed. That will be the most ideal way of proceeding for students who are appearing for the recent upcoming exams, because altogether changing the source makes no sense. But for students who are starting right now, maybe for the 2027 exams, for you, you start right away with version 11 and you don't have to run here and there for other sources, I believe. Any other questions? Dr. Rishabh, flashcards will be available with the RR notes. When you get the box of the RR notes, you will get the flashcards along with them. How to prepare other subjects? I think, there are two schools of thought over here. Many people say that main videos is what you should be doing, which I am totally in for. You should be doing main videos for all subjects, and there is no replacement. I always say in order. First is standard textbooks. For anyone who can manage standard textbooks, there is no app that can ever replace now or in future or any time standard textbooks. If you can't do them, then the next option that you have for app-based learning is main videos. But again, as a student, if I put myself, these are things that I said as an educator. As a student, if I'm 6 months away from my exam, I would be a little questionable about finishing main videos and then revising them twice over. I don't think I have the capability of doing so much. I mean, humanly also, I don't think it is possible to finish main videos in 6 months, revise it twice over, do the Q bank, give GTs, and have all that stress on my head. Somehow it doesn't fit into that timeline. And that is exactly where rapid revision comes into play. So you do rapid revision anytime if you are 6 to 8 months away from any exam, NEET PG, INI-CET, FMGE. Do rapid revision, but if you're taking a shortcut, then you have to be smart about it. See, rapid revision is not the full syllabus. It is, as I said, 80 to 85%. You are taking a shortcut, admit it, but you are also going to do it very smartly, because you guys are Gen Z people. You are smarter than all the other people, right? So you are going to supplement it with the PYQs first, and that's not where it ends. You will also be doing the main Q bank. Now you want to do it subject wise, wise you want to do it, custom module, that is entirely your wish, whatever suits your style of studying. But this is what you have to do in a stepwise manner. And then in the end, when the last month will come, of course, you will do all those LRR, RRR sessions, which are mostly TND based. Those are supplements. Those are not a replacement to your rapid revision videos. So that is to be followed for all 19 subjects, as I've told you. You will see that some subjects, like let's say Path and Micro, many people tell me that, ma'am, rapid revision is a little more extensive in comparison to other platforms. If I have recorded rapid revision for 19 hours in pathology, maybe at another platform you're getting it for 10 hours, 12 hours or 15 hours or probably lesser. I don't think anywhere else a rapid revision of pathology is more than 19 hours, at least in my knowledge. But then I could have also recorded it for 10 hours. It's not like that. But I also know that for a student who's 6 months away from the exam, he or she is not probably focusing on main videos. Maybe the mainstay is rapid revision. So whatever information important for the exam I can squeeze in and teach that student in those 18 to 19 hours, let me do that, because that is what is going to be the mainstay for his or her preparation. He or she will not be referring to anything else apart from it, and hence a rapid revision has been recorded. For some subjects you might feel that rapid revision kam lag raha hai. So maybe the educator feels that only reading theory is not enough. Let's assume you are doing subjects like PSM, although the rapid revision is, pretty extensive, but still you will never be able to solve 100% questions because there are so many twists and turns that come in that subject. तो आपको Q bank करे बिना तो नहीं होने वाला ना. You will have to do the Q bank to know what those twists and turns the examiner thinks of in the exam. So this is a stepwise approach. You build. First you lay a foundation with rapid revision, then you build it up with PYQs, then you do the Q bank, and of course then GT is for your final test with supplements and brings everything under one roof. Next question. Sorry, Dr. Rishabh, no offline classes, although live classes were conducted recently, but no offline classes. Right, so I believe any other... No, Dr. Roman, integrated, there is no separate separate notes that you'll have to take. Integrated essentials and everything will be a part of the elite plan only. There is no separate, subscription for integrated essentials or the notes. Real surgery videos, someone has Dr. Krisha, okay, I will put it across to the surgery faculty. I am personally, not the best person to comment on that because it's not my subject. So I don't know how it has been dealt with, how things have been, taught over there. But I will put it across to sir, and he will definitely be the best person to take that feedback also and to give you explanation or cater to that question. But I'll definitely put this across. So I think most of the questions which I could or were in my capacity I have answered. If there are still more which you have, not been able to get an answer to, I will tell the team to put everything in the comments below, which will give you more clarity on how many pages. Honestly, I don't know how many pages, but that is not a count which we did. 4 volumes is as what I know as of now, but again, since this is something which the team who's into printing and everything is dealing with, so the number of pages and all the font size, itna into the technical part I do not know, I'll be very honest about it, but I have seen the notes that I can assure you of. I've got screenshots taken and this is exactly what I took screenshots of, so all of that I have seen and that I have shared with you. Number of pages and all I think gets a little extensive and I will ask them and I'll let you know. By the end of April, for those who are asking and joined in now, by the end of April is when tentatively they will be dispatched to all of you. But the video lectures are going to be on April 12th. That is exactly, it is going to come up. Dr. Neeraj, I have not received any of your messages. I think ordering wala question I have Dr. Neeraj already answered. Volumes 4, that I have answered. Anything else that I have missed out on? Yeah, version X videos, Dr. Harshini, will remain. If you have been a subscriber, you have studied all throughout from version X, those videos are not going to change. In your settings, you will get an option to toggle between X and 11 and that you can do as per your convenience. But your progress or your notes or your video lectures of version X shall remain as it is. They are not going to go anywhere. You can continue studying from there. Okay, regarding making path and micro concise, Dr. Madhav, I always tell students, if you have even never ever studied path and micro, let's assume in your undergrad, which you have, but I know you studied it way back in second year, so by the time you're in your internship and you are dealing with these subjects, you've more or less forgotten most of, especially microbiology, let's be honest. So then even if you're directly starting with rapid revision, I do not think I have recorded it in a manner that you will have a problem. I really doubt it. But in case you do, you can go back to main videos. Making this further concise will mean that I will miss out on points. And now the point is that, okay, maybe I will you will say, okay, it's a 10-hour video lecture. I'll finish it in 1 or 2 days. Let's say 2 days. But then when you go to the Q bank and you can't solve questions, then you are going to waste so much of time in looking for the answers to those questions, then searching main videos, then reading explanations. So why not, instead of 2 days, you spend 3 days in going through the 15 or 19 hours, and then you directly do the Q bank, which will save your time rather than looking and searching for those answers. So I don't think I would want to make rapid revision more concise. But having said that, maybe you are a very good student and you feel that itna to mujhe nahi padna tha, I wanted bullet points for an ultra quick revision. Then for you, there are already two things available on the app. There is RRR available, which takes care of the TND, and there is LRR, which is approximately 6 hours, because LRR hamesha 2 दिन chalta hai for every subject. On an average, it's a 3-hour session. So 6 hours ka that ultra concise thing is already there. So if this is already available, then rapid revision ko concise karke LRR bana dena is not falling into place, right? So rapid revision, I have kept it the same duration as earlier, and LRR is that ultra short revision course that you want. If you've done main notes and you're comfortable with it, then stick to it. See, no one said that rapid revision has to be done. Do you know, back in the day, many years ago, when this new thing came in the market where students wanted rapid revision, it was never ever designed and given to students preparing for all exams. It was for the interns. Back in the day, many of the apps called it the intern module. But then, of course, everyone loves shortcuts in life, so it became the most trending thing and everyone shifted to rapid revision. But that doesn't mean that if you've done main videos there, you are at a loss. You are actually at an advantage. See, there are students and there are ways of studying. If you can revise the main videos, then there is no replacement. Other than textbooks, main videos ko koi replace nahi kar sakta. So that is what you stick to. If you think it is revisable, you have highlighted important points, you have made your own concise version of the main videos, then please don't shift to anything else. Stick to main videos, because you are one of those rare people who can manage main videos over here. And if you have that rare quality, then preserve it and bank upon it. Okay, so don't switch to rapid revision. In case you can revise. If you can't revise, then of course RR becomes your next option. Rapid revision notes, Dr. Kumar, you can order as the subscription opens, but the dispatch of the notes will be end of April. No, if only single subject notes, Dr. Shamas, is not possible. It will be an entire set of all 19 subjects. Okay, so I think most of the questions, yes, Dr. Madhav, I totally understand. Some subject rapid revisions are a little lengthy, but I think I've given that explanation that rather than saving time over here in the video lectures and wasting time in doing new questions in the Q bank, it is better that you finish a medium amount of theory in the rapid revision, and then your Q bank automatically becomes faster. तो वो starting में lengthy लगता है, but जब एक बार कर लेते हो तो फिर then your questions become easy. Exam day में question solve हो जाता है, then you feel that all the hard work is making sense, right? So I think it is not, I feel I would not want to make it concise, but yes, if you still want to read a concise version, LRR to hai, that is not going anywhere. 6 to 7 hours of LRR is the ultra concise version that we have. English videos, yes, Dr. J.I. इंग्लिश में भी रिकॉर्ड हुआ है, इंग्लिश में भी रिकॉर्ड हुआ है. Whether it is the rapid revision videos, the main videos, or even the audio explanation of the Q bank, everything is in both languages as per your convenience that you can go ahead with. Perfect. So I think I've answered questions, but I'm sure in this way, some questions must have been missed. Either I've missed it, or somehow in the influx of questions I couldn't view it. So if you have any other queries which I can answer, tag me, put it in the comments. If the PrepLadder team will be able to help you regarding any technical aspect, tag them. They will be able to, or just leave a comment and one of us from the team will get back to you. Okay. And anyone who's joining in now, the first 5 to 7 minutes, I have only spoken about the notes. You just need to view that. After that, I have taken all miscellaneous questions. That is not obviously something which is very useful, only very specific to people who asked. So people who are joining in now can only view the first 5 to 10 minutes, and you will get an overview of everything as a summary of what the notes have to offer. Right? I hope, Dr. Atif, you can just scan back and look at the first 5 to 7 minutes. Everything is summarized there. Right. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. Most of the questions that I'm getting now are a repetition, so I won't prolong this further. You can just scan through the first 10 minutes. You will get all your questions. Now that the live will be ended, you can even do that as a 2x speed, and I think you'll get your answers. Still, if anything remains unanswered, put it in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope these notes will be useful to you, and all keeping it aside, I hope you're preparing well for the upcoming exam, whether INI, NEET or FMG. I hope you're giving grand tests, because don't run away from them. At least try one grand test every 10 to 15 days, approximately 1 in 2 weeks. That is the bare minimum that you have to do. And more than giving the grand test, analysis of the grand test is important. I think we've said it multiple times. I'm giving you a reminder over here today that in case you've been running away from it, it is time, irrespective of whether you've done your 19 subject full revision or not. Don't wait for that day to come, because honestly that day never comes when you will be satisfied that you have finished all 19 subjects. It's never going to happen. It is a process which you will just have to somehow have that faith in, and you will have to give a grand test. Even if you've done 10 subjects, 12 subjects, just take the leap of faith, just give the grand test. Trust me, you will thank me, maybe not right now, but on the day of the exam, if you've given ample GTs, you are already knowing what all are your mistakes, what are your shortcomings, you worked on them. That is the day you will thank me that, okay, GT Dena was the best decision in this entire process, which I detested the most. So give a GT in case you've been running from it. Thank you so much for joining in, and any other questions, put it in the comments below.